Hey.
Hello, how's it going?
Good.
Awesome. Oh, I can't. Do you want to sign on as Apache Mesos and
Sure.
do the Zoom meeting?
I should do that on here?
Yeah, because Unity's not the host. The host is Mesos.
Oh, and it's not possible for us to
Host it from here? I don't think so. So like it's going to use this, but it's just an invitee.
Oh, so to do hosty things, we have to. Gotcha.
I don't know. For some reason, our last DCOS working group, we had some bots join and mess up all our shit. So
weird. What did they do?
They like made farting noises and like drew all over our. It was like
bots.
Yeah, bots.
Wow.
So
I really do appreciate the amount of fun that people had making that happen, though.
yeah, it was really ridiculous. Yeah, so I want to make sure we can like lock down our settings if anything goes.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
People with way too much time on their hands.
Yes, this is a thing. Yeah, come on in.
We first thought it was the two-person phone room.
Whoa,
Like, wait.
that's amazing.
Oh, yeah, oh, no, that's not the case.
Is there a
Yeah,
spot?
like right there, there is.
I need a full cooler of beer for my one-on-one.
Not us.
Definitely.
Well, who doesn't?
Oh, I don't know. What is it, like 220 or is it one?
What try you need?
Is it just a normal plug?
Oh, you gotta,
Get
It looks normal.
Probably just a
Yeah, I
normal
think
one.
it's normal.
or this one here in the corner?
sure.
Oh,
Okay, wait. Do you want
I'm gonna go try and let
to close
people.
it and then do you want to put it on the ground?
Stickers.
How are we gonna do
Earth. Yay, Earth.
it?
Thank you. I
Oh
told
my
you the
God.
wrong meeting room.
Yes.
Okay.
Uh-oh. Okay, now we can open it. Uh-oh.
Okay, you good?
Yes, we can open it.
It's a little tipping,
Oh
so
my God, why is it tipping? I
it's
don't
just
know.
off
It's
balance.
moving.
Yeah.
And I didn't It's not on the right way. It needs to be turned this way.
Otherwise.
Well, if it's on balance, it's because we need to drink some of the beer.
That's right.
It's on the floor here.
Yeah. Okay.
It looks like this. Oh my God. But the problem is, I don't want it to fall while there are guests here.
That would be
Yeah,
it.
it's not gonna work. We have to adjust this for sure. Okay, let me do this. I'm gonna pull this up. I've got the beer. Okay, that's that side. Let me go on this way. I've got it. You got it?
Yes.
Oh, now we have to pull it towards you because there's a cabinet right here. This whole thing. No, pull this way. Now. There. Now it's leaning backwards.
Now you may have beer.
Okay, but we gotta
Thank you
put
so
it
much, man.
up.
You're putting it against the wall.
Wait, hold on. There's a plug.
Here, let me unplug it.
Right here. Let me go.
So thanks everybody for coming. This is the third, I believe,
Okay.
quarterly sort of Apache Mesos Doc-a-thon. Basically, we're going to go around and introduce ourselves. Then we're going to make sure we update the spreadsheet that I linked to in the meetup with whatever project you decide to work on. To give you a sense of scale, you can work on the biggest project ever, or last time I updated the presentations page, so you can find spelling errors, you can do basically anything you feel like. And at 6:30, I believe, we're gonna take a break and have some pizza. After we're done with pizza, everybody's gonna present their projects. We're just gonna like share up to the screen and present, and then everybody's gonna vote on the best project, and the person who has the best project gets to choose between either an Apple Watch or some Bose noise canceling headphones
Oh.
and Chun won last time, and you should really tell Ben that you won because you're going to get a cool prize.
Okay, I'll tell. Well, now I
I kept
I
bugging
hear
you. Yeah.
the gifts. I should.
So pick a cool project, and I hope everybody has a good time. Does everyone have a name tag?
Those are good prizes. Were those announced before? You
Yeah.
might have got a bigger turnout.
Yeah, no, that's good. This is
Yeah.
fun.
I wasn't sure
Smaller-
we were going to have them until like a couple of days ago.
Smaller competition pool is good for me.
So with that, let us all introduce ourselves. I guess I can start. My name is Judith. I'm the community manager here at Mesosphere. I work mostly on DCOS and I try and help out with Mesos and Marathon wherever I possibly can. And I put this whole thing together and thanks for coming. I'm not sure I have a project yet, so we'll see.
Cool. I'm Pavi Sandhu. I manage the documentation team at Mesosphere, and I support the community getting involved in improving docs. So that's why I'm here, but I don't have a project yet. So I'm going to be looking for some guidance from Greg and Judith and helping me find a good one.
My name's Greg Mann. I work on Mesos here at Mesosphere, and I want to improve HTTP API docs today, improve docs on offer operations, and I think first thing I want to do is just help other people get set up with context they need to get started. So if you need anything, let me know. Yeah.
Great, thanks. My name is Jennifer. I'm Jennifer Kane. I'm a data engineer at a startup called Rubo. We are new, and we do data integration for accountants. Right now we use Spark and Scala. I'm interested in using Mesos. I have been following Mesos meetup for the past couple of years.
My name is Gilbert. I'm at the core team from Mesosphere and have been working on Mesos for some time, for years. And I might jump out to some other meeting at 4, so I don't haven't picked a project yet, but I'm happy to help with anything. And very likely I might send out some patches on the containerization doc.
I'm Chun Han. I work on Mesos in Mesosphere. And well, thanks for great suggestion. Now I got a project. I'm going to update. I'm doing the work on like some documentation for metrics for resource providers, which is a new feature we recently added. Yeah.
Okay. I'm Sarah. I'm a tech writer here at Mesosphere, and I like organizing things, and I'd love to dive in and get a nav menu for the left-hand side of the page. So if you guys are adding pages or adding directories in your work, let me know.
Thanks.
I'm Ben Mahler. I work on Mesosphere. I actually wasn't sure what I was going to do today. I'll have to figure that out. I was thinking maybe something with perf, but
Oh, that's cool.
but for that, there's already kind of instructions everywhere. I just don't know what I should put in Mesos specifically. So I'll figure that out.
Yeah, I think it could be useful to just have like what someone can expect to see.
Yeah.
Maybe add a new page.
Yeah.
I'll see what you guys think, I guess.
Awesome. Andy.
Hello. So I'm Andy. I work on Mesos over at Microsoft. I've actually got a whole team here, but I couldn't convince anyone else to join me for the Doc-a-thon. So this is actually kind of a freebie for me. I'm using it as a forcing function to finish writing my docs on how to set up cQuery and integrate it and make it work with Mesos. And I'm going to put up pre-built bits of that so that nobody has to build it on Bintray, and we'll have a link, and it'll be really nice and pretty. So yeah, that's my stuff.
Do you offer a tutor service for this?
Once the documentation is up, yeah, if people have troubles with it, I would love for them to come
I'm just kidding.
Totally.
Sweet. Awesome. Cool. So now what I would like everybody to do is make sure that you update. Has everyone found the spreadsheet?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Awesome. So that was an eyebrow raise.
Yeah, maybe we could share on the Zoom.
Yeah.
Over there.
Oh.
But there's no link. Oh, the link is hard to.
It's in the calendar entry.
It is in the
Yeah.
calendar.
Okay.
invite, and it's
I
also
find
on
it.
the- Cool. So everybody make sure you update the spreadsheet with your projects and then feel free to dive right in. And if you have discussions, maybe sit next to the person who you need to discuss with so that you can figure out what your project is. All right, cool. Thank you
I
guys.
need my other
Musical
glasses.
chairs.
I'll be right back.
So did you want to work on HTTP API stuff? Cool.
Actually, I was wondering, like, have you also looked at like Kubernetes documentation? Maybe we have something we can learn from.
Yeah.
That's the other thing I was try to consider. Anyway, that one I'm also interested.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So Pavi, you're still looking for something.
I'm looking for something, yes.
Cool. I think I'm gonna help Jennifer get set up real quick. Gilbert, Chunhung, or Ben, does one of you have some time to help Pavi get set up with something? Like figure out project work?
As I was telling Greg, I don't have expertise in Mesos. I'm not an engineer, so I'm limited in what I can do, but I can help with editing, organizing, fixing doc bugs.
Have you looked at them much already?
Yeah.
Not much.
I can tell you some things that
Screen.
I think are badly needed.
Sure.
You can tell me if you think you can.
Here,
Sure.
I'll let
Are you familiar with
And I'll
the
be
different
done.
APIs?
I have general knowledge about API, many other
Okay,
APIs,
cool.
not the Mesos
Cool.
API.
So our current APIs are version 1.
Find something.
We
that can
have
be
these
done.
other APIs that we call V0. These
Yeah.
are kind of legacy, older APIs that this was before we had a versioning.
I'm just going to work on docs
So-
for my pending
Older
patches.
legacy stuff. We're not going to worry too much about improving documentation there. We'll just focus on the version 1 APIs. And we kind of split them up into distinct
Should we mute?
interfaces. We have
Did you guys intend to be muted?
Yeah, even
What?
Thanks.
I think we muted just so we wouldn't bother you.
Yeah.
Would you rather we
Yeah,
left
that's the
it
reason
open?
I muted
You
it.
can leave it. I can take off my headset if I need to.
Okay.
Okay.
So leave it.
Sweet.
much more better than
So like status updates related to a task happen through the executor API. So something like update. When an executor notices that a task finishes, it'll use this call to send an update to the master. So those are the 3 version 1 APIs. And I think a good first step is for us to go through these and figure out if we're missing anything. So I can show you where in the code we can look for that stuff, and then maybe you can go through the 3 APIs and see if stuff matches up. So here we're in the Apache Mesos repo, and to figure out, so for each API, we have 3 kinds of messages that might be sent back and forth: calls, responses, and events. So every time a client wants to do something, they send a call message, and then in response, they'll either get a response message or they'll get an event message. So calls are the things that clients send to Mesos.
It does look like
Events
updated.
and responses are the things that Mesos sends back to
Start with an ad.
So if I look in the repo here, looking at the includes, and Mesos,
I like the idea.
let's look at,
The solid
so
color.
we'll just go down this list. There's the operator API.
So I can use that.
So yeah, it's GitHub/Apache/.
So when you get pinned on Slack, you have an excuse. I don't see it.
Yeah, so there include
I'll just do it right now.
I'm just trying to pull
Mesos.
the repository.
So these are all the
Yeah, it's
headers.
big, right? It's big, right?
And let's go into, so the operator, like we said before, the operator API is exposed by the master and the agent.
I keep saying it's
So
not a
if we
valid,
look in
valid path.
the master folder,
GitHub,
Yeah.
Apache Mesos.
Oh wait, you probably
you
need
go to master.proto.
you're cloning, right?
Huh?
You
Yeah.
can clone
This is
repos,
where we
probably
define
need-
all the
you cannot say
messages
3 messages
that are sent
probably need to just say
to and from the master for the operator API. So we'll see things
Yeah,
like
yeah, it
create
takes-
volumes.
So yeah, it's big.
Yeah.
It's not a
Find,
small thing.
create volumes.
And so
So
if you have
here's
questions
the
about
call
like GitHub mechanics and stuff like that,
That we just
perfectly
saw
happy
in
to
the
do
repository.
that.
Is the documentation for that.
that's like basically the only thing I could probably help with, but I'm glad to do it.
Yeah, you'll find it that way. Yeah.
It's the latest.
Yeah. Yep. APIs, operator, perfect.
So we just make sure these are consistent, okay?
Yeah, exactly. So we want to look in the definitions. So this is the actual code. So we know that this represents the calls and responses and events that we actually use. So we can go through here and see, okay, does every call here have corresponding documentation? In almost all cases we will, but there's at least one that I know we're missing. So it's good to check the rest as well. So this is just a placeholder,
There you go.
the unknown call. That's not something that we actually have in the docs. But everything else, these are actual call types that we should have documented. And if we don't, then we want to make note of them and add docs for those.
Will localhost work on this? If I want to do a
So
Oh,
those
do you
are the
want to do a
calls.
local build? I don't know, but there might
Those
be instructions in the
correspond
Git
to
repository for
all
it,
the
so
calls
I can actually dig
here.
into it, 'cause I'm gonna try
Alright.
and make some changes
It's not
to
urgent.
yeah, so
It won't be
we
for a
have
while.
calls.
it. Yeah.
And some of these have responses. So like we look at get flags,
Scripting support.
we see a response.
Lets you do it in a doc.
Like, so this actually provides a
Okay.
response. So now if we look in the
I've been doing local builds for
code,
our
so these are all the call types, message call. Now we should find a message response.
Okay. All right.
Okay, here it is, message response. and we
It is a
find
big
a
site.
response.
Well, you're
Or
pulling
get
all of
flags.
Mesos, so it's not just the
So
site,
we
it's
also want to make
everything.
sure that for everyone that has a response in here,
Mm.
that in the corresponding documentation for that
Apache Mesos
call,
website
the response
generator.
is
This will
shown.
generate the
This is what you
website
should
locally.
expect to get
Nice.
in return for that call.
Mm.
And then the last bit are the events.
Mm.
So these are events that are sent on a stream to the client. And we want to make sure that everything, so similarly, if we look down here, we'll find message event. And so in the code, this actually
Oh, I
defines all
wonder
the
if
event
there are
types.
improvements that
Just the same, we want to make sure that all of these
site
are in the
needs,
docs. So we can see in the docs here, we have
We'll see if it
subscribed and heartbeat, subscribed and heartbeat, yeah.
Mm.
So we want to make sure that those are all.
No, if we have a document.
And so we have that for master, and then we have the same thing for
Existing.
I don't think it
Agent.
was written yet because it's not fully finished.
agent.proto.
What?
We have the
It's not
same.
finished yet.
Which one is not? I'm not talking about feedback. I'm talking about
Just
just all operations.
You want to do that.
I want to
for
use good
master,
consistent terminology.
operator API, agent operator API, and then for the scheduler and executor API.
Mm.
And the one that I noticed that was missing is in the
Or is that?
scheduler
Do you have a
API.
document for
I think
framework
we-
API, right?
I think we do have it.
Yeah, we have it for framework API, right?
Yeah.
I just
Yeah, so
well
we look,
maybe
so
I
now we're
should.
looking at
I
the
don't have any
this
improved.
is scheduler.proto. So this is scheduler
That doesn't
API.
mean it doesn't need any.
Oh, I
And,
know, but it makes it more complicated.
and down here in the calls,
I like includes
you
actually.
see a call called
Yeah, me too.
suppress.
Mm.
So suppress is used when a scheduler says, hey, I don't want to hear about more resources. You can stop telling me about resources.
Mm.
And if we look in the docs here, if I search for suppress, okay, there's nothing
Thank
in
you.
this documentation about the suppress call.
Mm.
So that's the one that I definitely noticed we were missing. So we want to add docs for that.
Mm.
So maybe we could start just by
Thank you.
making sure we have everything else documented. If we don't, we could make note of that. And then once you have that list, we could actually add docs for suppress and for anything else that we might be missing. And I can help you come up with the documentation for that.
Makes sense. So among these three, which one should we start to checking missing items? You want to start with the scheduler or start with master or agents?
Maybe let's start with scheduler since we know we have some work to do there. That would be a good place to start.
Sure.
Cool.
So how do we proceed? So I just look at the scheduler. If I have questions, ask you. So
Yeah, you
this
can
is-
definitely ask. Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
let me compare them.
Hey, Greg,
Yeah.
is there no existing document for a list of offer operations?
I don't believe so.
Yeah, I only see something in persistent volume,
Yeah,
but
it is.
Yeah, I think that's something we definitely should.
I was trying to figure out what is I want to use consistent terminology, and I cannot find a term.
Yeah, I feel like, one place it could go is in the scheduler API docs.
Yeah, I'm looking at that, but
We have the accept
They
call.
ran
I feel like
so
that's
it's
maybe
a
where it
playlist,
belongs.
no
Yeah.
space slides.
I agree.
But I could also see an argument for just having a separate page about it. I don't know, maybe both.
How to separate them.
Like we could have a
I think
separate
we should
page.
link. Yeah, that's accept call is like maybe really too long. Like
Yeah, so it might make
maybe a
it
link for a list of.
Explicitly adding the
like
Unicode character for the space.
Were you thinking
Yeah.
of working on that?
Well,
Or are
I'm
you gonna work on those other?
Yeah, that would be way
Just
better.
copy and
Yeah, I
paste
like
the
that.
photo back.
Yeah, 'cause-
Are you going to be working on that?
Maybe.
If you want,
I don't know.
Actually,
need to.
while you're
Yeah.
adding things.
I mean, because for now I'm just trying to add a section for research providers, but currently the metrics. I mean, the method provide we only provide methods for like pending operations, complete operations,
Yeah.
those kind of things. So I want to have a refer to a list of operations.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, if you want to, feel free.
Well, I don't know. Let me finish my part first. I can leave some place over there, and because I don't think this will take a long time. After that, maybe you or anyone working on it, I can find out something else to do. If you haven't worked on it, I can start with
So I
that.
don't know if I just rendered the markdown in my text editor.
Hey Sarah, are you good to go?
I see what you're saying. It's
Hey Sarah.
Yeah,
Do you
I mean,
have,
the right
no, it's all
thing to
good. Do you have what you need? Or are you good to
But-
go?
Yeah, I just pulled the repository and I'm making my way through to the docs.
Okay, cool. So do you like have a strategy for how the nav might get added?
No?
No?
Give me a minute.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I can investigate that with you and try to see
Okay.
what might make sense.
I want to,
I know very little about web development, so it'll be a learning process for me. So.
You know, we have a really good panel for our Mesosphere doc site. So I wonder if maybe you and Sarah could just, and she knows all the metadata that we use to define the positions and so on. So I'm wondering if just looking at the code for the panel in our repo might suggest something that could just be, transferred over. So if you're willing to invest some time,
There it is.
that might, I mean, that's like a very high impact change, right? So,
Yeah.
So GitHub homepage
what I'm saying is
change.
We have code for the
GitHub
panel.
homepage
Yeah,
change.
So it may be something you can do. Sarah can show you.
Okay.
Yeah.
landing.scss. Here it is. I'm looking at the Mesosphere docs.
Okay.
We'll get back to GitHub and find it.
Do you know where the nav code lives, Sarah, for our?
I'm sorry?
Should we still
Do you know
call
where the
that
nav
offer
panel code
operation?
lives for our site?
That's where I'm looking for it. I think it's on the SCSS page, and it's.
Yeah, I
I
don't
found
know.
it on the.
Or resource operation?
I found it.
But-
Terminal. I'm looking for it.
I don't know. Well, maybe offer operation for now because the list of enum is defined in offer
Asking specifically.
operation.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of by definition offer operation at the moment. Oh, what's the context?
Oh, I just creating a link and I want to put a name and I'm just not sure like what is the term we should use. Should I
Like,
just say,
what's the sentence like?
oh, just like the following methods provide information about ongoing and completed offer operation or result or.
I feel like just operations is okay in that context.
Hey, how's it going?
You will not like me. Really?
Yeah, information about
What? No.
completed operations
Okay.
on resources or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know, but I think whatever, it's probably fine.
Okay.
It's a bit early to say, we have to confirm it, but it seems like doing preparation and doing class.
Oh, that's so cool.
When you look at the metrics, maybe you want to do it with
That's
me or no?
Yeah. Yeah, can I come join you in a minute?
Sure.
Awesome.
I can fix it.
That's good news, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
So we get the same marathon notes as last week, and I have a look there.
Sweet.
It's not as bad, like they can still deploy things, but then it slow down. And
Okay.
you happen on the other class. The one will they change.
Okay.
So,
That's interesting. Thanks, dude.
thank you, man.
Gilbert, were you the person who was signed up to move the working groups to the community page?
Let me do that now.
No, I can do it if you want.
Oh.
I
We're
was
not
just-
going to make Gilbert do it?
Well, I was just curious if you were still gonna do it, because if you're not gonna do it, I can do it now.
Okay.
But
Yeah. So you want me to sell on the spreadsheet, or what do you want me to help?
I don't think you need to do anything. I was just wondering if you had already started on it, and I was gonna.
Oh,
just
I did not.
Okay.
I did not.
great. And also publicly shame you.
Yeah, we just.
Yeah, I can help. I can help shepherd your page.
That's great. Perfect. Exactly.
What a
That's
generous
what I wanted here. There you go. Lovely.
What's the community page? Oh,
Put some typos in it.
Yeah.
oh, we have a calendar on this page,
Oh yeah, there's a lot of stuff on the page.
and we link traders.
Bobby, are you good?
Yeah, I'm going to update the presentations page and
Okay.
add a new presentation and improve the formatting.
Awesome. Thank you.
My job on last time was bad.
It's a modest change, but
No, that's incremental improvement.
you got to start somewhere.
Very important. I wonder if there are other presentations that have happened since the last doc-a-thon that we want to add too. I can't think of any, but.
Resource provider. Oops. No, we also don't have a page for resource provider.
Oh.
You can also consider it.
So we have the CSI docs,
Yeah.
but nothing about.
And that CSI doc has a link to a resource provider, which is for not found.
Oh, really? Okay. So I guess we better put it there then. Interesting.
Yeah. Hopefully it's not me who gave a snippet on this.
There it is.
There's a resource provider MD. Okay, it seems I have enough to do.
Okay, I'm gonna work on the offer operations stuff.
Yeah. We'll call the file name operations or
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, operations.md.
I'll just link that.
Cool.
And get a photo as well.
Okay.
Do you remember if we decided to put it at the top or we decided to like put it in one of these columns? Or like, oh, it's hard to put it, it may not fit here or something.
Put what exactly?
The working group information. We
don't
had like
remember.
a protracted discussion about it and I don't remember the outcome. Okay.
Like the list of current
Yeah,
working
it
groups?
was like, this is wide
Yeah,
and this is narrow.
yeah,
I'll look it up in the notes maybe.
yeah.
Write
I
it
have no
down.
recollection.
That's
Sorry.
fine. And if anybody wants sodas or beer, it's in the fridge.
Oh,
Might be a little
Oh.
early for
Can
beer.
you ship me one?
Yes, yeah.
I really don't notice that we have now beer in meeting rooms.
It's especially for this. Yeah, this is our policy now. Probably shouldn't say that because we're publicly recording. Are you figuring things out? You're good.
Yeah, he's good at getting.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, not that I could help, but.
If you haven't ordered pizza, don't order money. Thanks.
What?
I don't need pizza.
Pizza?
Yeah, I don't need it.
Oh, it's already ordered.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I already ordered way too much. So
Oh.
there's enough pizza for like each of us to have our own pizza, but they're all going to be good. So probably take home pizza if you want pizza. But there's also going to be salad in case anybody's vegetarian or vegan. So yeah, or gluten free. Xcode is really huge.
Which?
Xcode?
Oh yeah, that's.
It's really large.
Yeah.
I was like, what do you mean it takes 27 minutes to download?
So you guys strictly in reverse from chronological order, right? So I was distraction.
Yeah, the meeting.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Although listed in descending order. I think that would mean. I might replace that.
Shocking lack of Post-it notes.
Oh my God. How
These
many?
are not.
What?
These are not what I thought. These are 100% sticky. The whole thing is sticky.
Oh.
That's so smart.
But
Oh
not
my
what I
God.
need.
No, but that's so cool.
Yeah.
This is
Wow.
useful.
Yeah, that's the
Very useful,
problem
but
I always have.
yeah,
Because I always stick them on here and then they peel up.
I need to kind
Oh, I
of cut
see.
my partial.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice. Ooh, I'm taking
I'm old school. I organize my thoughts with paper and pen. So, okay.
Which might be the fastest way.
Yeah, right?
I write fast.
It's easily distracted if you want to use computer to organize things.
Yeah, totally. That's
You don't want to know how many sticky notes I go through and how many of them are peppered all over my desk.
I can imagine.
I know, I just decide when to throw mine away when I've forgotten what they meant.
Yeah, okay. For me, that's the next day.
Is there a reason bunch of these are different fonts than the ones above?
No.
Because they font differently, so you can consistent, right? That's
Yes,
deliberate.
yeah.
So at the end, there's this separate heading called training, which has only one item. So it doesn't make sense. Say it's sending out if you want. Also this seems like a commercial thing.
Yeah, I remember this person emailing us about it, and there was some discussion, and somebody merged it, so it belongs there.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know.
we wanted to kind of make it clear that that was the category of content. I think there's supposed to be like a title or something.
Is it called paid training or like
Something like that.
gated training?
Yeah, it says training. Maybe I should say paid training.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's training.
Okay, I have a draft, but I have to catch a bus, so I will be back on in a little bit to finish this and get a patch up.
Awesome. Thank you,
Talk to you guys
Andy.
later.
Talk to you later. When is it from? November 22nd? Well, it's probably not.
Pretty decent, yeah. Is it okay for me to make the capitalization consistent?
Yes, please.
Yeah. Confirmation that the video has the correct capitalization of the Yes, sir. Any question for you?
I found two more of them, like the unknown surprise that you already mentioned. But this one we have, but we didn't say accepted first.
Awesome. Cool. Awesome. So we can have docs for all those. This one is okay. That's just like a placeholder in the code. So this one we don't actually use. So that one's okay. We don't need to document that, but those three we definitely do. Yeah. Cool. So is this everything from the scheduler API?
This is for, yes.
Okay.
I only checked this part. So this is a scheduler call. So altogether we have 16 defined.
Yeah.
And I just look at this, it's here. So just look at each of the message.
Yeah. Perfect. So whenever you want to start writing some docs for some of those, we can absolutely do that. Like if you want to look through more stuff first and then write docs, that's good. Like whenever you want to start writing some docs, just let me know and we can get started on that.
Probably would needed to you write it, I review it.
Yeah, that sounds good to me. Yeah, I think I could write it pretty quickly probably.
Or I could help you write if you want. That's an easy piece for me.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you understand it, then explain it to me and I can do it.
Yeah, I'm not sure how familiar. Are you very familiar with the scheduler API?
Not so very familiar. If you want to, I can also write it, then you check the correctness.
Yeah.
I can also do that.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Video players plus slides, and then it's all on one line and it saves some space.
Yeah, that seems legit. When you click on that, is it?
Yeah.
I mean, is the video and the demo the same link?
No, well, no, they're different. This goes to, I looked at those. This goes here.
Oh, no. I meant the video plus demo link that you pointed out as the example.
Oh, yeah.
Are those two separate things?
Oh, I see. Okay, that's the same thing.
But it looks like it's separated by text and it's fine. So I think that even if you just put some text in there, maybe you just can't have two links right next to each other.
Yeah, the other option is I could use this format.
I like the other one better.
Yeah, okay. I think I like that one too. I'll just use that.
Both it makes sense. You write these. You have another line here. We check because maybe we see this batch.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. We could check the executor API now. Yeah.
So here are the messages.
Exactly. And then there's a corresponding docs page for that. Yep. Yeah. Cool. So do you want to check those and I can start writing some stuff for these?
Pardon?
If you want to check that stuff, I could start writing.
Yeah.
For that.
Sounds good.
Okay.
All right, so I've done a
Nice.
one item fixed. The new
Sweet. Love it.
So should I just go ahead and
Yeah, I'm
create
trying.
you know, and review it then?
Well, I can't review it. We need one of these guys to review it, a committer. But
Well, you can always review.
right, I can review it. I just can't I don't get the final say.
But your input is valuable.
Thank you. I feel very validated. But I was going to try and figure out how to get the local build working.
Okay.
So it might be good to
Yeah,
build it locally.
yeah, I was
before.
trying that too and I was getting all kinds of errors.
Oh yeah, maybe our errors are the same.
Well, I think this map is more challenging than what I thought.
So what I had was missing, because I don't have Xcode installed.
Then you did make -dn?
Yeah. I got stuck on the very first step.
Yeah, I got a different error though.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so I did make it. It says
there we go.
as
Oh,
an S
interesting.
interior number.
Oh,
Did it
weird.
not? Isn't that right?
Corresponds to some number.
What number?
Any-
Laptop,
There we go.
Really, what does it refer to?
it's gonna build Mesos, and it's gonna do it with 4 threads instead of.
Oh, wow,
okay.
that's really.
So that's.
So you actually have to build Mesos in order to build the site.
Yeah.
Because of the endpoint
I see.
documentation, it's the only thing that we have to generate.
I see.
The plan was to not have to do that, but it takes more work.
Yeah. No, that's fine. Sweet. Well, maybe I'll open a PR for the site. The README too.
I mean,
Yeah.
you don't have to build it, it's just the endpoint documentation.
Oh, I see. Got it.
I have 9.
That makes sense.
If you don't care about that, you can.
Oh, that's great.
Consistent.
Awesome.
So we don't care about that.
Well, and then I did that and I got a whole bunch of, I guess it means Python 3.6.
Next we check it.
Oh, okay.
Operate.
So I think you did. Oh yeah. You did schedule.
I don't know. I
first.
haven't gotten
Yep,
that far.
exactly.
I was like downloading Xcode.
So that in the code,
But
that's
let
in
me
master.
see where I am with that.
So that's in 2 different
Let's see if I can
places. One is in
get past
master and one is in agent.
it. Get started with the playground. Create new Xcode project. I don't want to do any of that stuff. I just want to run this thing.
So for this, so we just check this. These are the what is it? Oh,
New target specified.
Okay, got it.
Pretend that didn't happen.
Cool.
Please make sure. Somebody will generate the website. Okay.
But you're starting Xcode because you need that to update Python 3.6. have it.
Is it freaking and running? No, it's not running. Thanks. Whoa, stuff's happening. This is exciting.
I guess you must have had Python 3.6.
What command told you that you needed Python? What did you put in there that it was like,
Local bit now. When I was trying to run the Python.
oh, so I skipped that because Ben said it just generates the endpoints for the
it's a
endpoint
good-
documentation.
okay.
So if you don't need that, then maybe you could just run this. Although probably I should eventually figure out how to do that. But.
Oh. Okay.
Oh, I have it.
Oh,
It's misspelled on the readme because I just copied it. That's,
oh, is it?
yeah,
No, what? Well, I don't.
that's sustain. So we need to fix that.
Oh, interesting. That's funny. Huh. Oddly, it's doing something for me, even though I copied and pasted it from there.
Really?
Oh, no, you know what I did actually? Oh. I think I auto-completed it in the actual exam, so
Okay.
probably I didn't copy and paste it from there.
Yeah, right. So that's the topic.
Cool.
typo I could fix, I guess.
Yeah. All sorts of good stuff here.
Cool.
Globally accomplished. Using these. Welcome.
Thank you.
Is it going?
Yeah.
Nice. Awesome.
Cool.
Yeah.
And continuous for CS what? And along
I imagine that you were going to do that.
Oh, is it that time?
It is for me.
Nice. Me too.
It's
Oh my gosh, the beers are color coordinated with the Mesos logo.
That's right.
Yeah. Do you want IPA or
no IPA, please.
Corona?
There's Corona, non-alcoholic, or IPA. There's no much.
Well, Corona is fine.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Awesome. I also found another typo when looking at the docs. So it's good.
All right.
It's good.
Howdy.
Yeah.
Sarah,
No,
anybody?
thanks.
I didn't get to write any documentation too.
Venom.
Thank you.
Oh, it takes a while. So,
Yeah, it takes a long. I know it takes so long. Compound internal stuff.
I added the flag.
Oh, cool. Did you ping Jill with
He's already testing it. No,
good.
he said it clashed with all his changes.
what's that?
I just realized that I was.
It crashed with all its
Crashed.
changes? Oh, gotcha.
I did not create a
We don't want to make
separate
it too
branch.
easy for
Oh,
him.
whoops.
Is there an easy way to switch that? What I now I have created a new branch. Is there an easy way to switch?
You
It was not easy for me, so it's good if someone else
super
suffers.
powerfully.
Okay.
I'm not
That's the
super good at that,
spirit.
but I think
I
that
could
it's.
just delete that file and get
Yeah, I think you could do that.
I'm not somebody away.
Or you might be able to just merge that file
That's
into
me.
your.
What do you do with Mesos?
I'll do that.
If I were you, I would cherry pick it, but that's just because that's the only thing I really know.
Yeah, so let me try the other thing and then.
Cool.
I'm not currently using Mesos, currently only using Spark and Cassandra. Interested in using it in the future.
Oh, cool.
How about you? What do you do for Mesos?
So I'm like almost everyone. Did everyone introduce themselves here already? Okay, I won the Mesos team here and core team. So yeah, depending on when, but now I've been working lately on operation feedback. So when Mesos lets you reserve volumes or create volumes and stuff like that, our framework wouldn't get any feedback when it did that. So there would be no easy way of knowing whether a volume was successfully created or not. So I did some changes to enable frameworks to get feedback. Yeah,
Oh.
that's what it was doing.
It's done.
With Greg. And it's not documented at all. I wanted to add documentation today, but that's some other things.
Didn't work out. Business priorities.
Finally. Nice.
Your located complete?
No, it failed.
It did?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Did it go?
Yeah. Finish. Oh, rake aborted.
Rake aborted. Make sure Java proto files are generated in field source.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah. I don't even really see build, but I don't know. Could be somewhere.
not work? Yeah, old style?
Classic style.
That's right. We're still missing docs for accept and decline inverse offers.
You're making requests?
No, I'm working on it right now. That's been around for a while. And suppress.
Do you know where anyone is using inverse offers?
I don't think so.
Maybe more people would use it if it was documented.
Very good point.
Yeah, and if we fix the bugs there.
Yeah, but you need docs to find out you don't want to use it because of the bugs. So.
I should document the bugs as well. So they
Just document the bugs and nothing else will happen.
Oh my God.
if you use this will happen.
This is spiraling out of control.
Hello. Oh, no.
Things are happening?
Never mind. Well, I thought they were, but then they're not.
You're building the site?
I'm trying to build the site.
It's been a while since I've done it.
Yeah, so it says say make J2 and then there's no make file. So I looked in there and I didn't see a make file, but I saw a rake file.
I think, have you tried the Mesos website dev script?
Yes, yeah, I tried it. And it said that it didn't find the Java. Here we go. Rake aborted. Please make sure Java proto files are generated in this folder, which I can't find. So I figured maybe you needed. Yeah, I think you do. Except there's no make file. There's just a rake file.
Yeah, the make is in another directory. It's like top on.
In the Mesos directory?
Yeah. Well. Yes.
Let's see.
You have to. The instructions not tell you to make, I guess.
It does, but it doesn't say where. Oh, CMake? Make file. Okay, great. I think this is going to be good. Thank you. No. No, that doesn't work.
Confirmation.
So you're in. Was that a folder? Seen
Yeah, it was. There's two things in there.
it? Yeah. Don't worry about that.
Okay.
You can go out there and do that. So
Yeah, so there's a make file.
yeah, you have to run configure, which you don't have to. You have to run bootstrap first.
Okay.
I guess these instructions assume people have already done.
Yeah.
/ bootstrap. I don't have have that. So you could
Okay. Auto.
Recon. Do you use brew or?
Yeah.
Okay, then we could try.
I can't autocomplete in brew.
This.
Recon. That's a command. It's probably part of something. Oh. All right. Well, it'll tell me what I'm missing, right?
If it doesn't find it, it's because
it's a command and it's part of
it's like a collection of things that gets in Google like through auto. I don't look like that.
Debian Wiki.
Through. Yeah, just
install
automake as well. Let's see if we do. Which includes that probably.
Cool. All right. Well, I can stack over and blow my way through prereqs. Probably. Nice. That worked.
Did you figure out how to get past the rake aborted error?
We're figuring that out right now. It turns out that there's a lot of stuff you have to do first, including install automake.
This is like these. You can probably find these instructions in other parts of the documentation.
Yeah, this would be probably
getting started. Probably.
Well, I'm just going to walk my way through this.
It should get that.
Yeah.
And the build instructions are getting started.
How to build, yeah. So you've already built down Mesos.
Yeah.
And then you want to go to OS, Mac OS.
I've got Xcode, I've got Homebrew. Java.
So here's the brew install automate for Jesus.
What am I doing wrong?
Magic.
What happened?
We should probably just link
I
to
don't
that.
have those.
The README link to
I
that.
don't know why this HTML page is not displaying as HTML. I think it's text.
Is it
What have I
because
done wrong?
is it because you're starting with a file? Maybe you need to turn on something so you can view file. Let me try to figure out.
Usually you can see an HTML file.
Locally? So you already.
Yeah.
I
don't know what's wrong here. The text looks good. I'm trying to get my file to display in the browser and it's not doing it.
Must be missing some. Must be like an error or something. If you inspect it.
Is it possible? No, the doc type looks
like it's either malformed.
Doc type is HTML.
What? Maybe malformed.
Can you render in your text editor if you use an external text editor?
I'm using it. I built it in a text editor and now I'm trying to display it and it's displaying as text.
Interesting.
So I'm doing something wrong. Dang it. It was looking so good.
Installation going on.
Oh, good.
I think that one command gives you everything you need.
Oh, is it? It was under getting started, right?
Yeah.
Build documentation. Here?
Yeah. Go down to Mac.
Humans.
Yeah. So I think that's the command.
Are you sure that?
Install
Xcode. Are you sure that your whole HTML is like well formed?
Yes, whatever it is.
Is there a tool you can use to check it?
Yeah, this is what happened.
I did. I tested it.
I
plugged it into the
wasn't very specific.
And that's
WS3, and it looked fine.
Okay. It says failed because it wants to install.
Because it's clear.
And has what docs to
Yes.
Is it because of this? Like you.
All right.
I don't.
No, it's not XHTML.
So it's not XHTML.
No. Let's see.
I'm just gonna walk through all of these and then it'll be great. This area.
What are you doing? Okay. That came out wrong. Okay.
Oh,
Oh,
so
yeah,
it's
that came out wrong. Yeah, something's wrong.
RPC calls. Resources. Do you feel that RPC calls sounds okay or sounds a little weird? Because like C means call.
It depends on the context, I guess. But
Well, just like number of erroneous. Well, this is a placeholder actually.
It's like ATM machine.
yeah, or pin number.
Yeah.
Well, I feel probably fine because I'm saying this italic thing is a placeholder.
I think it's fine because it could be RPC errors or RPC something like that.
I think it's fine. Are you just walking through all of the install?
Yeah, I'm now doing my Python dependencies.
Yeah, same thing. Travel is successful.
How do you easily explain scarred? Okay, my context is I have a matrix to count the number of discarded calls, but I want a one line explanation about like what is this? Like,
Could it be cancelled or aborted or
cancel. Yeah, cancel. Cancel is right. That is. It's actually that is how usually how it is. This is how it's implemented. Like because internally when someone's got a feature, I will call try cancel. Good. Yeah. Thank you.
That's great.
Then how about I should just call it canceled? Instead of discarded.
Yeah. That would be
what is it? Is it a metric or?
Yeah, metric.
I think it really makes more sense for an operator because
Cancelled or
discarded is something very close to the process.
Mm-hmm. And how about pending? Do you think pending is okay, or should I say?
Does it mean
like outstanding calls that haven't returned yet?
so? Could be are they being processed now or are they queued? I wonder where queued could be better than pending.
It's how do I say that? Well,
you know,
it may either be in litmus queue waiting for it to in queue into gRPC queue, or it may be in the gRPC queue. It's all the calls that is made, but
Yeah, later on, if you have any other things.
okay, pending is probably fine.
Okay, thanks so much. What I may do is I send you a link
Thank
to
you.
the review.
Sounds better than discarded. Discarded
You can take a look and edit them.
used to confuse me until I learned only process and then
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Are you taking it?
Yeah, yes, I have to take off early.
Oh no, you're gonna miss pizza. I should have ordered it earlier. Could have been lunch pizza instead of dinner pizza.
Yeah, pizza's always, it's
Yeah.
always pizza. Sounds.
It's always pizza to me.
Wait.
In my world, it
I
is.
thought you were the guy that loved pizza, right?
For context, that's Greg on Slack. It's Greg and many pizzas. So that's who's speaking right
I
now.
like pizza.
I mean, we should all put our favorite food as a little class. They just have like big salads, like a bunch of salads.
I would put the party cup.
You could never trust somebody's favorite food salad.
You said it, not me.
I know. I know it's wrong,
I
okay?
mean, if you put like an asado or meat salad, then I would love salad.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
It's like
Meat salad.
any kind of salad.
Nice to meet you, Jennifer.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet
Nice to
you.
meet you. So, is this all being recorded now?
It is, yeah.
Got jokes and everything?
Yeah.
Great.
Yep. People can scrutinize your humor online.
In Costco, you can buy like a stem cell. That's the only question.
Session.
Yeah, all of our public Mesos meetings we record.
Is that right? I mean, who would ever watch that?
Good question.
Yep.
Ben watches every one.
Because there's nothing happening except a bunch of people typing on their computers.
Yeah.
We normally record when we have working groups, like working group meetings.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then
those are
we might
more-
make decisions and stuff like that. So
Right,
Yeah.
right,
there it might make more sense, or we present what we did or something.
right. I
For
guess
these
that-
ones that are very long, like few hours long.
Doesn't really make sense. Yeah.
Yeah. Unless you want to train something on our voices or
Yeah.
type in speed or something like that.
Cool.
Yeah,
Well,
well,
we found a bunch of missing API docs, which is great.
cool. Well, Andy may want to know what we were planning.
In what sense?
I'm just kidding. Telling some evil thing.
Yeah.
Oh, probably you don't know. He was on the bus right now. He's on the bus right now.
On the bus?
Andy said he's commuting.
Okay.
So I'm not sure he.
So you can check in and make sure we weren't talking about him while.
It's something like I'm writing docs for a pending patch. So once you hear a suggestion, I just update the pending patch.
Yeah, I have to review your metrics. I was on my plan for today, but none of the things I had planned happened. Except adding the flag, which wasn't in my plan.
That's all right. Yeah, I feel you might be a good reviewer because you're working
On the R metrics.
Metrics.
Yeah, I will try it tomorrow. I think it should be quieter.
what?
I feel like tomorrow will be quieter from the
Oh.
music point of view. Yeah. Financial land point of view. So.
Gonna make me do it. Gonna make me pull in Dreamweaver. Can't do it, but this is ridiculous. I'm wasting all my time just trying to get HTML code to render in Chrome.
Huh. Are you working on the Napa?
Yeah,
Cool. So how are you doing it?
well, I like what I got so far. It's a prototype.
Okay.
You know, it's got drop downs and all the rest.
Uh-huh.
Right there. I mean, it's incomplete. This is kind of a sample, but anyway, you get your drop down.
Yeah.
But this code is not rendering in my browser. It's only rendering
Okay.
the WS3 testbed.
Okay.
So,
That's weird. So is that written statically, like the elements in the list?
yeah, I'm trying to make this just straight HTML code right now.
Okay.
Do it the quick and dirty, easy way.
Uh-huh.
You know, a little bit of,
Oh, I was wondering if there is a way to.
yeah, I didn't want to start, I've got one script thing in here, but I really don't want to start with JavaScript and all the rest right now. I mean, we don't have time for it today. But if we could just get a side nav on that page, that's a start.
Uh-huh.
Do you not agree?
Well, so, I mean, we could statically add it to the home page, and then it wouldn't persist across all other pages, right?
No.
Do
you want it to?
I guess ideally.
Like on the doc site.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Well, it's actually that slice on the left is a separate HTML document.
Yeah, what slice? On
Oh,
which page?
yeah.
Side nav is the side.
You're talking about the DCOS doc site, or?
No, because
Okay.
it's got the same little snippet in it, no matter what site, no matter what page you're on.
No matter where you're on the
Yeah,
docs.
I feel we can start with like.
Which docs page are you talking about?
Any doc page.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Left hand thing.
Right.
So what is it an
Yeah.
include? Is it an include?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it wouldn't tell you where you
Wouldn't tell you
are
where you are.
necessarily, but it would tell you how it's structured.
Uh-huh.
At least the structure's there.
Yeah, that's like a good first step.
That's I think what you would do.
Yeah.
Well, for anything else, I got a stupid code.
I just think it's runs.
This one, what is it?
I don't know. Yes, we should finish some answers at the end of the day.
Okay.
Did you get it yet?
I think I got a lot further, but I still got to think about it at the end.
Stages
okay.
and response or something like that.
Okay, so
Yeah, I'm
request
stuck
ID,
on nose. I don't have
size,
nose.
No,
This has been a problem
I don't know.
in the past.
I just
again,
something like yeah, the fact
Okay.
like a whole day, I mean,
I know, there we go.
Yeah, you could compile Mesos basically.
We like went back to the
Yeah, he added some code to write that file in /tmp.
Yeah.
That's it. There we go.
Okay.
I mean, I did all of this.
And then configure.
No, I did not write configure. I thought that was something like say something. That was the one thing. That was the one thing I did not do. Oh, and then the process tests.
I don't know why it's not quite right.
I did not. I don't think I had configured.
It's just telling you that you might encounter an error when you run the process, but you don't do that. I think there's some.
Yeah, I mean, I ran all of this, and I ran the server image linking, and it said all the same links were created. And I thought this was an option, and when you did it, you got an error. You got a warning, and it did not.
Yeah, I don't know if someone here recently. Has anyone made changes to the website recently? No.
No. Yeah. Some like small docs
Did you use
changes or
the
something.
website local testing stuff? When you did
I
that?
should have, but I didn't. Just having trouble getting it to build.
Yeah.
Well, I think it wants you to have run make to a degree that makes can generate the Java docs.
And I didn't run make, but
It doesn't tell you to do that from the README side.
Yeah, so you just have to install the dependencies and build Mesos, I guess.
Yeah,
I'm guessing
that's
that
what I'm
make-
trying
Yeah,
to.
it's kind of a pain.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm not. Something about nose.
Something about nose.
Yeah, like how do you install nose?
What's nose?
I don't know. It's like you don't have a nose. MATLAB,
That's
Mat-
awesome.
whatever
Matplotlib requires
nose and tornado, which like
Those are just
I know what
nouns.
NumPy is, but like the rest of them, no clue. Yeah, like there's a lot of stuff that it.
So what were you running into in the Mesos build that prompted?
It was virtual
these-
end. They wanted you to install virtual end.
Okay.
So
yeah.
what we were doing, if I can even find it anymore.
Now virtual end is complaining when you
Yeah, exactly.
try to.
Although I guess I could like ignore that. It was getting started, building.
What? That's annoying.
I don't know why.
Oh, maybe.
Oh, that's for the
Yeah, it's here.
So should I try bootstrapping?
Homebrew, Java. This I think worked, and then I got to install pip, and pip worked, and then I got to virtual end, and it was unhappy.
Okay, gotcha.
Is that right?
Let's try upgrading pip first.
Yeah, I tried
Oh, you
that.
did? Okay. Oh, you did? Hey, it's right there.
Do you do
And that didn't work either.
Yeah, it told me to do it, and then I tried to do it.
Okay.
Okay.
Here I would make, should I make, I would make dash A. Okay, that was.
I would hope less.
Huh. That's
Also works
annoying.
around the shell. I mean, if that did something
Yeah,
that
right?
you should do the same thing you just did.
I don't know. I mean, I could try it without. I know I have virtual end. Like I've installed it for other stuff, so I think I might have it. Maybe I don't need to install it.
Yeah, maybe not. Have you tried building Mesos?
Not since I got started trying to.
Yeah, let's
Okay,
give
here we
that a
go.
shot. And see.
And compiling, following is needed. Blah blah blah. Through unlinked subversion number. Okay. I don't know. Why not?
If already installed.
What are you trying to do? Compile Mesos or
Yeah.
the website?
Yeah, we have to compile
Yeah.
Mesos in order to do the website, I think. Okay, unlinking.
We definitely we probably should have a person working on improving this in Doc-a-thon.
Subversion is already
Yeah, that would be.
installed. Okay. Blah blah blah. Compiler warnings.
Yeah. Why don't we try just running configure and building again?
Okay.
See if it complains.
Where was that?
So
Maybe here.
yeah, I mean, we could just look at the instructions for building Mesos.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if you look at the Mesos docs. Oh, is this the build? Yeah. Building.
Yeah.
So this is getting it ready on, yeah, so it's asking you to configure here. You go up to the top, I think the general instructions are at the top of the page.
Clone it. Do prereqs. So this is all prereqs.
Yeah. Oh, and then is the other stuff below?
And I never got past here. Building Mesos.
Okay, yeah.
CD Mesos. Okay, we're there. Dot bootstrap. Oh yeah, this is where we got hung up before.
Yeah, that was the thing complaining about Richmond. I guess it probably still was.
The last thing that didn't work.
Configurable to go through without any errors. Yes, so I should just run mate-j8. Yeah. Which is faster than J4.
Well, cool.
Oh,
That's
great.
good.
Nice. Okay, good.
Awesome.
Love it. Make your build. Let's do that. Okay, sure.
If that breaks,
was
then
fast.
something seriously wrong.
CD build. Oh, and this is where it was like, oh, you don't have the right stuff in there. It was like, oh, where's your Java
Yeah, right.
file
right.
or whatever. So this is good that it found that folder.
Yeah,
with
so now we
this.
created the directory where we're actually going to put all the build artifacts.
Got it. Now we're gonna
We're running
go
a
in
script.
there. We're gonna go to configure.
Yeah, it's going to set up all of our build stuff. It tells
Oh,
our
nice.
compiler what to do.
This is so great. Okay.
Progress.
Yeah, good times. I wonder what, well, I guess it just depends on what's already installed on your computer, what you have to run in order to,
Mhm. Yeah.
okay.
And sometimes you'll have like the wrong versions of stuff installed and you have to figure out how to get the right version.
Cool.
Yeah, and then you can run you can run it with as many cores as you want.
I don't even know how many I have.
Probably have 4 threads in this thing, so you could do 3 maybe.
Okay.
So you can still actually do stuff.
Oh, it's just like how much of your computer do you want it to take up?
Yeah, it's gonna have like some number of concurrent threads building Mesos. So if you leave an extra thread hanging around, you can still use your computer.
Yeah, that would be good.
Sweet.
I'd appreciate that.
So configure. Yeah.
Okay.
So now if you pass, so do make like -J3
Oh,
maybe,
right,
and
yeah.
that'll tell it to do.
Isn't there a target for
What's J
doc?
stand for?
Good question.
Is there a target for doc?
I didn't think so.
What is J? It's jobs. Hmm?
Oh, nice. That's logical.
Yeah.
It blew
But of
my mind
course.
when, God, what is it? The et cetera directory that everybody calls something else.
FC.
Yes,
Oh, FC.
yeah.
CD was. Actually, before SCD, I don't know people call SC. I'll just fill out the letters.
Yeah, ETC.
Did it work for you?
It's still running.
Okay.
Before
Cool.
I'm running.
talking to Impact, I don't know people say stuff.
Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah, it seems like if you just follow the
Yeah,
instructions,
good
it works.
Yeah,
All
it's
awesome.
just that you have to do a lot of Mesos
Yeah,
to build
yeah,
a website. Yeah, which I didn't
Yeah.
That's
realize.
short and standard.
Yeah. I guess the
I
web
certainly
is-
did not do this.
I like saying putter
In
too.
fact,
Like shared
the
footer,
website
unique
instructions
footer.
should probably say that.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Do you want to change them or should I
Anyone.
change
I
them?
like that.
I didn't change them because I've already edited this file.
Great.
So just add a line saying you
Yeah,
should,
like go do these prereqs before you do
you should build
anything.
Mesos following these instructions prior to
Yeah.
doing any of the web work.
Totally.
So
This is so exciting.
Oh, nice. Oh, you're just brag. Yeah.
Not grog.
You're not growing anymore.
Sorry to disappoint.
Grogging. Well, there's an exclamation.
No, it's a grag.
Yeah, right now I'm brag men.
Well, this is not gonna work, so I gotta find something else to work on.
What happened?
It's gonna take me like 3 weeks to
Forever.
do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Not
a
gonna
big
happen
project.
today, so let's find something I can do that's, can actually get done today.
Okay. Let's see.
Does the system do docs?
We don't have a professional document writer.
Yeah, this is the problem, is that there's no docs
I mean,
writer
in
for
Mesos,
Mesos.
not for DCOS.
Yeah, that's why these things happen.
I wonder.
We had a contractor for a time, right?
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't know if they
Working
did
for
that.
Mesos Docs?
No.
Yeah, he was supposed to like reorganize.
Yeah, it didn't work.
Also to reorganize things.
I don't know that at all.
That was like over 1 year ago. I think it didn't help much.
Do you think we have enough scattered docs on offer operations?
What do you mean by schedule docs?
Like we have docs about the different things you can do with offer operations in different places, like the reserve, unreserved stuff, persistent volume stuff. I was wondering if there might be enough info in those places that Sarah could collect stuff into a single offer operations doc.
I don't know. Well, to be honest, I'm not familiar with docs at all.
Never looked at the
We have
docs.
the broad doors.
So that's one possibility, Sarah.
Which one are you talking?
Overview of all available
Yeah.
offer operations.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Oh, we have that. Where's that?
No, it's on the list here,
Oh, on the
which Greg is doing.
Yeah, it turns out I'm not.
Yeah, okay. But,
Um,
oh boy, how many places are offer operations best?
Yeah, so we have this set of operations that a scheduler can perform on resources.
Right.
So it gets offers for resources and then it can transform them in these different ways. And
Is that under resource management?
we don't have.
Shouldn't it be
A
under resource
single-
management?
Yeah, I think one place we thought it would be good to have a link to it at least is in the scheduler API documentation. We have a call that schedulers use called accept. So when they want to accept some resources, they submit that call and they can include some offer operations in it. So I guess we should at least have a link in the accept call docs that links out to some offer operation stuff. So maybe we just want a separate page
In the API?
that's just like offer operations.
In the API.
Well, we could link to it in the scheduler API docs, and then we could just put a link on the front page, unless there's a better place for it. So if you're looking in the repo, the file is called scheduler http api.md in the docs folder.
Scheduler, yeah, okay. Huh, where's that show up on the page though?
There's an APIs section on the front page. Let's see. Yeah, APIs, and then there's a link that says V1 scheduler API. I'll Slack you a link real quick. Oh, actually, I can give you a link to the accept call because James Peach added those anchors, which is awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. And then I can send you a link to the place in the code where we actually define the different operations.
Okay.
So that's like our source of truth for what operations exist
Right.
in the absence of documentation. And one place that we could start is with the reserve, unreserve, create, and destroy operations, because we have some docs elsewhere that describe those fairly well, I think.
Reserve, unreserved, yeah, well, like when it's tearing itself down.
Yeah, so when a framework gets an offer with some resources, it can reserve them to say, hey, I want you to save those for me and nobody else. Then it can unreserve them to cancel that. Or it can use create to make a persistent volume.
But when it breaks in the middle and,
So it finished with,
I had a question about that. If you've got a task that fails, and then Mesos goes in and unreserves everything, but something breaks and it doesn't unreserve everything, what happens next time?
Yeah.
Well, so in that case, if a task fails, so let's say the task was running on resources that the framework had
Right.
previously reserved.
Right.
The task fails. What we want is for those resources to remain reserved.
Right.
And we want the scheduler to have to explicitly unreserve them before we'll offer them to other people.
Otherwise, it's gonna sit there in limbo forever and just take up space.
Yeah, well, so in that case, the task would fail, and since those resources are reserved to that framework, the framework will get them back, and it can do something else with them if it wants.
Okay.
Yeah, so the Mesos master will offer them back to that same framework
But
since they're
only to that
reserved.
framework.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, to that role. Yeah. Roles complicate things a bit. Yeah, the wrinkle is that a framework belongs to something called a role. And a role is just like a group of frameworks. So a framework, when a framework signs up with Mesos, it says, hey, I want to sign up in this role. And then reservations, when you reserve resources, you reserve them for a role. And then those resources will only be offered to frameworks that belong to that role. So there's one.
You can have 2 roles with 5 frameworks each.
Correct,
right?
yeah.
And so you're reserving your resources for framework 1, role 1, framework 2.
Well, you would just reserve it for role 1.
Okay.
And then it might get offered to framework 1, 2, or 3 if they're all in that role. But the way a lot of people run.
But Mesos doesn't care, right? Mesos is just offering it to the framework.
Yeah.
I mean, to the role, to the role.
Well, it'll offer it to a particular framework in a role at a given time,
Okay.
and like rotate through the different frameworks in that role.
How does it keep track of it then?
It has a mechanism for deciding each time it's offering stuff out.
So I'm offering you resources to your role, but I get to decide which framework it gets.
The master decides which framework gets
Okay.
it. Yeah. Yeah.
How do you determine the
It is complicated. Why do you need the role?
The framework decides when it subscribes. It tells the master, I want to belong to
So
these.
one research something,
And then you can set up authorization.
Do the roles talk to each other?
No, it's not talking to each other, but
Right.
like by using,
So that
by registering 2 things in the same role, those resources will flow through each framework, right? So the first one reserve it, and then later on, the reserved one will go to like the first one, they don't need it, but the second one will
Second
need
framework.
it. Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
probably because
Framework
probably
one,
because this, yeah.
Framework 1 is going, I got everything I need, but framework 2 is going, I need it. And
But they will still get, but they
anything
can,
assigned to that role is available to framework 2.
yeah.
It gets pretty far.
All right. Ringmaster. No, I'm sorry, that's a totally different, yeah. But yeah, the elephants go here, the tigers are here, you know, and the tiger food doesn't go to the elephants.
It's just like that.
Exactly. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
where am I looking at? Resource management?
Let's see, so there's a page on reservations.
Yeah.
Let's see, it's probably just reservations.md. Yeah, reservation.md.
Oh, we do have that.
And then persistent volumes.md will have the stuff on create and destroy.
Persistent volumes, yeah. What happens when Rexray goes away?
Rexray, like when we get rid of Rexray from the product? Well, Shunhung will be designing an amazing new feature that replaces
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
It's not there yet.
Good to know,
It's a
good to
very
know.
straightforward
If
change.
you're writing Markdown,
Yeah.
you can use this.
Yeah.
But if you're like, say, making a left-hand navigation bar,
Yeah.
you'd want to
Yeah, the problem with Rexray is that the volumes supported by Rexray is not in our resource accounting mechanism yet. So it's like from a resource accounting perspective, as resource allocation perspective, is out of band, and we don't want that. We don't want that to be regulate the use of those volumes. So, but this is not there yet in Mesos. We need a new mechanism to support.
By out of band, you mean external to the cluster?
When I say out, I mean so for CPU and RAM, the master know who use that and he allocates that. It don't allow others to grab it under the hood, right?
Yeah.
But for the Rexray volumes, the master have no control of that. They didn't say that okay, only this vendor or this role can use this. There's no mechanisms for that right now, and we want to introduce new primitives in Mesos to enable that.
Okay.
Yeah. So more control.
Okay.
Why is it, what happened to Rexray?
They gave up on it, apparently.
Yeah.
It was stable, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we always wanted something that was first class in Mesos. Like, as Jonan was explaining, we always wanted master to know about all of these external volumes that people are creating. I don't know that we ever had a plan to make that happen with Rexray.
So even if they had continued maintaining the project, we probably still would have.
Yeah, I guess as far as I know, it was always kind of a short-term solution. I don't know if there was some longer-term plan to integrate it more with Mesos.
Well, it was a short-term solution for us, but
yeah,
the Rexray people thought that it was going to be around for a while.
And now they're gone. Oh, not gone, but
Yeah, what happened to that?
EMC code is done.
Oh, this is the thing Josh moved to.
Yeah, I guess he's at AWS.
Yeah.
I was actually looking at people's LinkedIn accounts the other day because I was curious, because I've collaborated with some of the EMC code folks, and it seems like they all have been shuffled over to VMware. So they're working on open source stuff over there, I think.
Hello, welcome.
Hey, Jörg, what's up?
How do I also get a sticker?
Yes, come get a sticker.
Tell me what your name is.
What's your name?
Can you spell my name? You
Yes,
get
it's got an email. I can do it.
There are a couple dots somewhere.
Jorg.
Yeah, it's Jörg, right?
Why did I come in here?
Just so we can make fun of you.
Jorg. It doesn't help. It's too late.
You came in here for pizza and beer.
I know.
That's why you came in here.
Is it just
in German or yes?
6:15.
Yeah, so we had a woman, Jennifer, who
Is your
joined,
thing still going?
from another company earlier. She had to go.
Well, I got an error right at the end when I
on the
built Mesos.
Don't tell me that.
Was issue.
He might be coming back. I
I'm
don't
now
know.
building.
What about you? Other than that, it's us.
Thinking that
hey Greg.
Oh my
So if I have embedded HTML code, tables inside
Oh, mine just finished.
Markdown file,
Oh,
inside those HTML file, I can no longer
Okay,
use
great.
Markdown.
So what
I
did you
believe
do?
that's correct. Got it.
no, we haven't just been able to resolve that. There's a
What
Java
else do you
issue.
wanna work
It's
on,
basically
Eric?
not
Do you
finding
have
some Java
plans?
files.
Oh.
I always wanted.
Oh, hey, it worked though.
We always discussed that,
Successfully generated.
Ben and I, that we wanted
Oh,
to add
holy
shit.
examples.
Okay, so what did you do to fix this
API
error?
Yeah, if you got that far, then just go back and build to the local build again.
When they added
Did
last
it
time?
again.
There was a PR last time, which I
This
think
compiles
never got
Mesos enough for what
to
local
turn the
needs.
operator API docs in particular into curl
Getting a full
commands.
Mesos,
Yes.
but you've got far enough.
I see.
That would be
local
so
build has
helpful.
what it
It's already
Someone work on
done.
that. Like,
Since it's already done, I'll
let's-
leave.
Yeah,
The
let's-
easiest to get rid of me.
No, but then I'm sure you have amazing other ideas.
you can review it if you want to. Just
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. Oh,
I think
see.
there is a
Okay.
PR still out.
You can get rid of us by grabbing all the. Just kidding.
Let's see. Yeah, so looks like we asked Dude to update, and it has not been updated yet.
Shall I? Would
You
there
can
be
take
something
over.
I can take over, or
Yeah, I think
should I
so.
ping him again?
You can probably ping him and take it over at the same time. It's been like 4 months at this point, so.
Do we?
Oh.
You are, I'm like 50% now, so.
Okay.
Thanks, Ben.
Oh, no, I'm at 17. It's gonna be bad. I'm gonna go get my charger.
You're just
No, you're
small,
not.
you'll never gain. You say I always was fat?
No, you're not getting. You're perfect.
You're perfect like you are.
You're getting better. You're improving.
Oh,
Yeah.
he's married, you can tell.
You're beautiful.
He doesn't even blink. That must be a happy marriage.
You're right. You're always right.
Yeah. For operation. So what were we asking him to do?
I can look at them.
Oh yeah, right. He was using all these EOFs to signal the end of the
These are examples.
end of the here doc stuff.
So, I mean, I can imagine two ways. If it's just ending those EOFs, what I would find fair is, I don't think we can check whether we need to rebase that. Otherwise, I'll create a follow-up PR so he kind of gets.
Yeah, has some authorship.
Yeah.
That sounds good to me.
And then I can do the UF one. Okay, I'll check that out. Maybe I can even just add it here, but I would feel it nicer if we just could commit that as one piece and then there's a follow-up PR.
I agree.
If I would contribute, it just would feel nicer to me. And
yeah. Sounds good.
Okay. Cool.
Thanks, man.
Trying to think of community here.
Yeah, I like that. I'm adding some docs, some missing API docs at the moment.
Oh wait, so maybe that's the one thing we can just check together. Has the operator API changed since then?
Good question. I mean, it still doesn't conflict, but there may be some that weren't.
I'll check that. I'll just check that out and look at that in a decent editor.
Cool.
System volume. Okay. Well, I'm adding links for each specific operation to its corresponding documents section.
Okay. Nice. Yeah, I started a little branch for the operator docs, but I haven't been working on the operation docs, but I'm not working on those at the moment.
And should I remove my link to those non-existing docs?
I don't know. I mean, maybe it'll pressure us to add
It
them.
turns out I don't have time to work on the resource provider.md. So I decide I will just put a placeholder, say, please see this photo.
It's better than nothing. Better than a 404, right?
Yeah. Then I'm creating more 404.
I think we can get something really quickly up for the operation. It's just a quick summary. I don't think that.
Or I can just remove the link.
Yeah. Because this is
Operator machine is just a new one. So
you can run this under the
just
Let's try assuming someone knows how to do that.
So I should just remove that and say, before running a local web, you should install the binaries following that.
Well, you should compile Mesos
Okay.
using.
And then that would replace.
Good place, Justin.
Then automatically.
Yeah, well, it would replace this make.
Yeah, once you show you why I did that.
Say that generating the help and contact me or something. Correct.
Yeah, reverse
Right.
go.
This could
That's
depend on
compiling.
compiling just the trunk.
You should put the same.
I guess it's actually not true. This thing needs some stuff.
Okay. I think it's because we migrated our hooks
Well, it
to
seems
Python
like that's
3, but I wasn't expecting that
Yeah,
configuration.
okay, so I
No, that's why.
first combine
weird.
Mesos and then.
So that's just the hooks being executed, I guess?
I think it needs.
I think so. And now I see that,
Yeah.
each time it uses that, I guess you get that message.
Congratulations.
No, but I still had that error.
So now you know my confused or puzzled.
Got
Surprise.
far enough in compiling Mesos.
That's funny.
that
It would just be nice to have that error. When
Yeah, but I
posting this patch.
but I don't know how, I wasn't able to resolve it.
Oh no, we print that. It's like a part of what Andy added, I think.
Huh.
I mean, I don't know if your term was.
It says I should set Mesos support Python to 3.
Well,
If it did, then we could.
okay then.
I don't know if you.
I tried to get some of the SDRs to come in here and contribute, but they didn't sound very excited about it. Can't win them all, I guess.
No, this is okay.
Well, and this is another problem, but the original problem we had with when you build it was because he ran the Python script, but it was still completely.
Yeah, it was, okay, so the original error that I got.
That was
Before I combined it,
Yeah,
right?
that's the context that you get to have. That you do need to build because Everett complained about.
I'll send them one too.
So this was the error.
Yeah, I mean, we should. Oh, tomorrow. Yeah, yeah.
It's on the second one. Yeah, I can say it right now. I'm the first speaker.
Yeah, yeah.
And running compiling.
Yeah, I think that sounds great.
I think we should
issue, even though.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
got far in this.
Well, at least I feel a bit of.
So that's,
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, I think.
that's what I'm just about to use context. to change. Just this error, you run it without compiling.
Okay.
This is what it complains about.
Okay.
So then whoever reviews that can say,
Okay, so add compile Mesos, if you don't, you might get this error. And then we make that change.
Wait, I know what false means for him.
yeah.
That's my flag to false and it's with.
I don't know if the documentation is set to compile or you might get
My
the error,
flag
but,
is allocate partition.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, let me just write that
Yes, I'm
down.
a genius.
You are.
Sorry. There's power in the table now.
Oh, great. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
You found a switch?
I found a plug. Fun time. Yeah.
I'm happy to report.
Did you do it?
The proud possessor of the
Oh my god, that's amazing.
It's up at the top of this list.
Nice.
So I wanted to show you my page.
So good.
So that's the new
Playlist
talk that I
plus
added.
That's good.
Relationship settings, and then this is more compact. Also formatting is consistent.
Get a lot.
And
I guess the ones are
received.
Save training. Nice. Good times.
all right. Cool.
Wow,
So
good job.
I will commit this thing.
What did you do to fix your local book?
I compiled Mesos and it went as far as, I think
This?
if you run a local build now, it will work because
Oh.
it got far enough that the local build isn't affected anymore.
Oh, okay, great. Site, dot site.
Okay. The resource provider. So here, received a bunch, only accepted one. Most were too small. Here, accepted all.
LVM through the source provider.
So that means Wait, so you're saying calls
Where are you supposed to run that command?
Wait 1 second.
This one?
Let me.
Script command?
Yeah.
It's in site. You're in the site directly.
burn on.
Main Mesos installation.
So the branch is allocated part of
No such file order.
CPU.
Go back to your main
True
Mesos.
is existing behavior.
But never.
So you should see that in the forms. And that's the one he sent first.
Let's do TWD.
I'm right
That's
here.
the one.
Oh, you are there. Okay, so now it should be CD site. Or yeah,
Oh, that's where I was.
C site.
This is file directory,
Okay.
So
site,
it would probably add a new capability or something like that.
message file order.
No,
Well, it's-
you don't
yeah.
need to put site now because you're in site.
No, I'm in site.
So that's what I'm saying. Your command doesn't need to have site. It should just dot slash and then the script name.
Well, then why doesn't it work in Mesos with /site?
They get offers.
But try here without site.
They do get offers, right?
Right.
Is that the first?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because my
LS.
Mesos, oh, you know
Why
what?
is it red?
I copied it from the thing.
And they
It's gonna be great.
have the.
Oh, okay. You had the wrong. I'm correcting that error, by the way.
Yeah, great.
Okay.
There we go. Awesome. Thank
I
you.
forget who was telling me this.
Cool.
Adding a capability
16.
would be
What's that?
it's like
Yes.
it's like a hacky or poor man's way of requesting resources because you're saying what type of resources you want to receive, right? So whether or not the capability is how we want to do that, I don't know. But it would be like a quick and dirty.
We also introduced
Way.
to storage guys because
Yeah.
I thought you mentioned it today. He's modifying this same method because right now as is Jesus doesn't get any offers for the allocations.
Seeing green
Because they
things.
don't have any.
What's that?
Seeing green things.
Yes. Well,
That's
we still
good.
were seeing those last time too. But I think now that you got that far with your Mesos script, it will work.
Hopefully,
They are already
I
changing.
can actually start making
Don't worry, I'll
edits.
leave this.
Beginning to wish that I had taken Gilbert up on his offer to edit the page.
They have also been. They had already been.
What else should I add to review this documentation change?
I'm guessing what will happen there. So, there's we are talking about those that there's extra remaining memory that cannot be affected.
But they did receive a bunch.
Yeah,
Most of them are choose.
if you do this in work,
What precisely is that what you want?
yeah, I still don't know how
So I wonder why those get them.
it was compiled to.
Oh, he doesn't like you.
That's
He likes Greg's much better.
I think so much of it. I don't want to struggle with that.
You guys can fight first.
Wait, don't I have those?
Oh, I missed the review request number that ending with 2 zeros by 3 patches. I missed that.
I get so much satisfaction from the fish trophies. Okay, just platform. Yes, yes. Suffers.
What kind of weekend? Didn't GitHub give you those commands like this is copy paste that and you apply that locally?
Oh, like to get a diff?
Yeah, or to just get like this remote branch. Never mind.
I don't know. I don't know. Huh. Interesting. Okay. Sweet.
Should I replace the internet photo page?
You could put like brackets there, like a
Yes, okay.
Oh yeah. Or is it your laptop?
Okay. Ooh.
You could also just give them a command that would
If I needed to tell me what it was, I think instructions should have asked me for it. Without really.
Is any of you still in contact with yours? Still in contact with yours?
Oh, nope.
if you have a 15 inch
Maybe embark.
It just depends on the number of cores you have, right?
Like maybe something like
I mean, you could say just depending on how big your laptop is.
well,
that
I'm just trying to
depends.
find like a
Reference to the project is right here.
there's commands that
I might.
but I don't know which ones are gonna feel as number.
I know what that number is.
Yeah, you could just do this.
Do this.
And spit out 4
Is that right?
and you put out commands.
London for both classes.
Okay.
I'm not sure what it will be useful or not, but
So
Yeah, we should. We should, yeah.
that takes
I mean,
a
you
while
could
to
just
do.
say like, if you have a relatively new computer, 2 is safe, and if you know you have a bigger computer, using EPUB is the one to take up.
Yeah, but what's the typical convention for indicating that that's a variable and
This way is
explain what the variable is?
Okay.
You know, honestly, I would put brackets, like, you know, the little, I don't know,
Angle brackets.
yeah, maybe.
oh, okay. I think let's do this. So we'll put this in there.
It's not easy to grab with CLI?
You can, but then you get the progress information or anything like that. It's a bit that you
And then that,
it's easier to download it and then.
Or if I say, now if I echo that. Evaluates it, right? So yeah.
So can we just give them that command?
So put I figured that on both and
Can you use like
Yeah, can you tell me like what file to grab and everything?
and then if they're curious, they can
Can you
Google that.
just make
I don't know
sure
where it's being created.
All right.
well?
Yeah.
Because I don't know if I've installed something. Well, you can just run the middle part, but yeah.
Oh yeah, I don't need to run the whole thing. Yep, give me 8. Cool. So I'll just put this register and then they can Google to figure out what that command is if they really want to.
Yeah, let me make sure that command exists here. Well, if it does.
I guess you can use this command. And this was okay.
That doesn't work on
It's not.
on Linux.
But yeah, if they have no way of determining that, then it doesn't help.
Jack, you have 1 second?
Yeah, should I come over there?
You could just stay from Mac to listen.
Yeah.
So your idea is now to just -d, okay.
Yeah, at least when I tested it,
Yeah, it seems
that
like
seemed to
this.
work just fine for me.
Okay, so
This is a server that
Oh, okay.
this would be your
I
suggestion.
think it was a single quote rather than backtick.
That's not good.
Okay.
Okay, so I should just say make dash JN and
Because it's super smart.
Like this?
Yeah, you want to go toggle back and see?
I would
Okay,
I would
I-
go on a cluster and test that.
Yeah, I think that was it.
Okay, let's just check whether there were any.
and what is the function of the, oh, that it generates the endpoint.
It generates some HTML.
Oh, we always give them
Kind
an
of
example.
optional. If you're not making a change to it, you don't really have to bother with it.
So just delete that?
I mean, that's what this is kind of saying. This is the endpoint generation just expects this kind of.
I'm just scrolling through to see whether there were any examples added.
What do you mean? Any examples?
Like whether there were any changes.
Make a change to it.
Which section makes it simple?
When I generate this
Right.
first, so you can see your changes.
If I look at this file, let me
Because endpoint help
look at
doesn't
the changes, right?
What is the endpoint?
Oh, changes in
We have a bunch
the.
we have all our endpoints.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so basically it says
All
out
of their
of,
instances.
out of sync.
So this is different from what's in this.
But I can do that by myself.
All those is we wanted to make this stuff marked down, but it's harder, so we just made it in C++. You have to run things and it spits out marked down.
But they do have to do that then to get the generate HTML.
That was the original reason that they had to run main. Because you have to run it and it spits out.
Right. So that command should stay there. Right, you need to run.
Yeah,
that
it's
as
just the
well.
context for why to do this originally was because if you can only have the endpoint help documentation generated,
Right.
you need to run the generate endpoint help.
Right, and to run that, you need to
run that.
yeah. And yeah, and
Is
you always
anyone into create
get the
volumes?
endpoint document generated, right? But this one.
Has reviewed that?
I think it will work.
What was the
I
question?
could be wrong.
Create
but I think
volumes.
What about it?
have nothing.
Have you reviewed that?
Reviewed what exactly?
The new, no, the new, I mean, there were some changes, right? That it's not resizable?
So I guess, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yep, we added new API calls for resize. So shrink and grow volume were added.
Yeah.
Once you go in here,
This is the only change where I see, but I don't, oh, grow volume, so we need to add something.
so that's what happens. Just
Yeah, I think those are probably the two additions.
doing anything to it, you don't care about it.
Yeah, so I'm wondering if
Grow and shrink
to
volume,
generate the
okay.
website, run this, and then that can just be a footnote there, you know, because why?
Sweet.
have
I
everybody
think
go
it should
through
work.
that?
I can try that now because you know it's Android.
Yeah.
It's probably more of.
I guess you
So
know
that can be
how to
more
adapt
of
it.
a kind of a caveat.
Yep.
So the instructions. So do you still need to
Yeah,
combine
then
those?
Well, it seems like
store them. So
you do because of the job.
and of the email I would use
Right.
it.
Okay.
Although it didn't used to be.
I'll put them on a flash drive and leave it somewhere with a scavenger hunt for you to find it.
The instructions would be
Have fun.
basically to generate the website on this, and
And why do it just
you
for
want
flash drive?
to get the endpoint help.
And then why did it?
I'll make it like 128 megabyte or 128 megabyte drive. You want
This part is like if you're calling build, you're probably running.
It would be that.
So,
This building is running.
he was nice enough to
Okay,
add
and then
this
does that
post
give you
example.
the codes though?
I would replace it then with a crawler.
Those instructions.
Yeah, sounds great.
Right.
Probably.
You're gonna be the student person reviewing
So,
that, I'm just
what's the
making
name?
sure that you're in line with what
Yeah,
I'm doing.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Building. Which is running. And it says, where's the building and make number close.
Okay, so it would work without the -j flag.
Yeah,
It would just take longer.
8 times as long.
Right. Okay, so then if we are pointing them to the Mesos instructions for generate the endpoint anyway, we don't need to tell them about the -jn because that information is here
I
already.
mean, it could be here where it's like make -j that command,
Yeah,
but then you'd have to split this like POSIX versus or OS X versus Linux.
right.
So maybe that's clear enough for you.
Yeah, and then we can Google that and figure out what the command would be from out, of course. So there. Okay, so that means then. Yeah, so I can just remove this because if I'm telling them to follow the build instructions, then that gets taken care of. And then I just ask them to run this because they need the endpoint help.
Yeah, so this is kind of a, compile Mesos the following build instructions, which means you're already running main.
Yeah.
So it's like, if you want to generate the endpoint pages, if I run this.
Yeah. Oh, but then I don't have to say name because that's already part of the build instructions. Should I just make that a numbered procedure? 1, 2, 3, 1, 5 Mesos to endpoint build and generate website. That's the idea.
nice, some taller, or just.
So is this as strong as?
What?
Oh, is this yours?
No, I think it's yours.
Oh, okay.
Your?
Good. Yeah, that's obviously
No, this could say parens optional for something.
right.
If you
You can skip this step.
just want. If you're not making changes to the this
You can skip this step if you haven't made any change. But if you haven't made any changes to the input data.
it's kind of like this.
This step is only required to
C++.
render the. This step is only required to render the endpoint API. Only required to render the API documentation, so you can skip this.
Yeah, I would say help. The endpoint help documentation is what I would say.
The API endpoint help.
Understood. Well, there's just a distinction between the API documentation, which is also the markup.
Yeah.
And this stuff, which is basically when you, it's a dump of the built-in help.
Yeah.
C++. It's kind of like, I don't know how to communicate that fully.
Sadness.
Typo in a commit message.
Oh no.
Oh, wow.
Anyway. Why
It's hard.
Yeah,
why not
just have to tolerate it forever.
everything at the company
I
site?
don't have the time to write document for resource providers, so I just move one section out from the CSI documentation.
Smart.
At least it prevents dangling links.
Yeah. Okay, I've got a review up for some API documentation. That's nice. Let's see what else we got here.
Sure, I mean, that's nice because I've run the script to generate the endpoint.
So,
Endpoint option.
okay. Get operations, indeed. Not. Oh, it's in both master and agent. Okay.
Pizza should come soon.
Awesome.
And then
I
it's
expect
clear, I mean, it's
Yeah.
sort of understood it's.
This is great news.
We don't need to say that, just make sure I repeat it. But this is nice.
There we go.
Just gotta figure out those other things.
The Java.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Mesos the build didn't complete.
Get frameworks.
Things right now, no one
roles,
builds it with Java enabled,
Right.
so we don't notice it.
Yeah, okay. Well, at least we surfaced that issue.
No, actually, I try to do that.
Good on you.
Oh, especially when voting for releases.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it should work, is what you're saying.
I didn't. Yeah, I don't see any problem from my recent experience.
Yeah, it didn't work when we tried it.
So pretty.
Well, like, didn't find java.h, just like the JNI header needed for
No,
JNI.
I didn't. I haven't seen that recently. So awesome. So the event will end in in 2 minutes. This session.
Yeah, I think we can eat and hang out a bit and then look over what we did.
Another thing is,
I did manage to post a review this time, which I don't usually get around.
No, I just posted some reviews.
Nice.
I guess I actually added you as a review.
Oh, I added
Do you feel it's okay if I just keep adding as reviewers for my badge?
Yeah, I never mind. I mean, if I don't have time, I just won't look at it. But yeah, I never mind. Cool.
I'd probably ask whoever added that one. Yeah, I probably just asked whoever.
What's the master? Version, get things from marks, sectors, tasks.
You do that in GitHub.
Yeah, sure, faster. Good spot.
Source. Click T. You just press T over and
Get run.
search.
Get operations.
Oh, I see.
It's not too far off that we'll each have our own pizza.
Thank you, Judith.
All right.
Is that everything? Sorry, I didn't ask before if you
that's
needed help.
everything. There are plates, forks, and napkins, and everybody can just help themselves.
Thank you so much.
I'll be back in 2 seconds.
see who had it. So I'll just write it. Click on that. There's probably not any commentary.
So that was 2 years ago. So chances are at that time max you get 20 things, and now the local was just adding the same things.
Could be, yeah, I have no idea.
Yeah, oh, but actually no, they may have installed Docker in a different way. And so I think it's sweet to coordinate that in there.
I mean, if you run that, does it give you an IP that you can then use in the work?
No, actually that did not work for me. But you know, when the build completes, it spits out the instructions to the pages go to the site.
So it did tell you. It told you where to go?
Yeah, I did. And actually this doesn't give me my IP address. So that is outdated then.
So if it tells you where to go, maybe it doesn't. Maybe
Yeah,
it just highlight that it does that, or-
it does tell you. So the
Second?
Oh, yeah.
the site is typically accessible at this let's call it instructions. But when the build completes, it will tell you the location of the file.
Yeah.
It is typically I'm gonna send that first, and it's
Yeah, I don't know if we should keep saying Docker machine thing. Everyone doesn't.
that's what I'm saying. I'm going to get rid of that.
Yeah.
So make it available.
Yep.
You're gonna have meals for days.
Yeah. I have a feeling we're not going to make it through all of it.
Yeah, no. I might send out a Slack to SF and say if there's pizza. If there is pizza, there is pizza.
Why do we have like two Apache Mesos joining the meeting?
So I think
One of them is me and one of them is
Oh,
Just want to give you guys in case you need to expense it.
Oh,
So that's your
thank you
pizza.
so much.
Yeah.
That's great. Do you want some pizza?
I'm all set, thank you.
Yeah.
Too expensive.
I would assume it's.
Yeah, I do want to expense that. Yes, San Francisco, there is pizza. Pizza.
Okay. Now I can go back to design that.
It got to be simplified.
I always have a problem with naming.
That's probably more useful than the
Yeah, that's hard.
presentation page change I made.
Yeah. Next time someone goes there,
So if you want to name two not operation, two calls, or two calls. One is to make sure all the resources are available. Make sure all the resources passed in are available. Like, for example, if the resources are disk resources, to make sure all the resources are mounted.
Okay.
And the opposite call, there's another opposite call is that for the passed in resource, make sure that all the resources except for this set are make it unavailable, like unmount them, except for these set of resources.
Okay, so you're describing two different calls.
Yeah, and they are like opposites, right?
One call accepts.
So it takes a set of resources, and want to make sure that all the resources, for example, if there's disk, all the disks are mounted.
Okay.
Yeah. And the other call takes a list of resources. Make sure that all resources except for these are unmounted.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, the call are designed this way to ensure idempotency.
And it returns like a yes or no.
Yeah, success or failure. Yes, yes or no. So
what process is this call sent to?
The agent was sent to the resource provider.
Okay.
So it's actually an event, not a call, but yeah. It's an event in the resource provider API. So that
and the RP responds to the event, saying whether or not the resources are.
So when the RP receives this either the call, it will ensure this condition that agent wants.
Oh, I see. Yeah. I see. So when it gets, so it's not really a call. It gets that event.
Yeah, it gets the event.
And then it asserts that the conditions in the event are satisfied.
No, it will try to satisfy the condition.
And what if it doesn't?
Well, if it doesn't, it will return an error.
How does it return an error for an event?
With a call. It'll call and So actually, this is related to the public resources and update public resource status that you renamed it, right? I'm not sure if you still remember.
Public resources?
Published resource.
Yeah.
So the public resource, the semantic storage is actually the first operation I described. The agent tells the resource provider list of resources, make sure these are mounted. If they're not, please mount them. If they're remounted, please don't do anything.
Okay.
And
so if it gets a published resources call, or I'm sorry, event, and then it's not able to satisfy that state.
So it will return an update published resources status with okay and failed. I forgot it. But yeah, it will return the result.
Okay, gotcha. So it uses update published resources status.
Yeah, but
gotcha.
But for external resource, in addition, is published. So the publish the semantic is this way because we want to make it idempotent. So if the agent don't know result, reissue it multiple times, the result will be the same. And for external resources, I need to introduce another operation that do the opposite and also idempotent. So, and the design I come up with is like, give you a list of resources. For all the other resources other than these resources, please unmount them. Yeah, this is the only way to make the call idempotent.
Okay, so you give me a list of resources, and I unmount everything not in that list.
Yes. And well, I think we probably want to rename the published resource because if it's called the opposite call is called unpublished resource, it's weird. Like I'm not unpublishing these given resources. I'm publishing these like not in this set.
So you're saying the current publish and unpublish?
There is no unpublished call right now. There is no unpublished story event right now.
Okay, there's a publish, but not unpublished.
Right.
Okay.
And the name doesn't fit. Like if I want to introduce a new event called unpublished resources, the name sounds a little weird given the semantics.
So you were thinking of, so you're adding these to the ERP, is that the idea?
I'm adding this to the RP API that will be used by the ERP.
So you're talking about adding one new call to the RP API for this unpublished case?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And I'm thinking of how to rename them. You probably also want to rename the public resources because to make this symmetric.
Okay.
Yeah. So when I say publish, I pass you a list of volumes, and we ensure that that list of volumes is all mounted.
Yeah.
And you want in the opposite call to unmount everything that is
everything else
not in the list that they provide.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not really right. So right. It's not unpublishing the resources that you provided.
Right.
Okay. So publish resources and asserts that these are mounted.
It's more like a guarantee and limit. like ensure and limit. So I have difficulty naming those events.
Is mounting and unmounting the only action that will occur? Or
well, for storage is
right. I'm wondering if does it have to be generalizable outside of storage or not?
I hope so, because for example, if we want to support TPU,
okay.
Yeah, I mean, we want to say, okay, for now, this agent please only hold this amount of TPUs.
Okay.
And if someone wants to use some TPU, release some TPU and use it on an agent, I want to tell agent, hey, please don't use no more than these.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So is the current call publish_resources?
Yeah. And the reason that we need this idempotency is because we don't keep the local state of the resource in the resource protocol. So whether the agent is mounting something is actually not really important to master. And actually, when agent restarts, the state will change. So it doesn't make sense to encode this message in the resource protocol. But that will introduce a problem that the agent may retry the same thing multiple times, and so that's why I need to make that idempotent, and that's the reason we come up with this a little bit strange.
Yeah. So why don't we have a call unpublished resources that just accepts a list of resources and unmounts those?
How do you the things for volumes with ID, there's no problem with that. But if we in the future, I don't know if we are probably doing some premature generalization, but in the future you want to support resources without IDs.
Okay.
Then we call unpublish.
Oh, okay.
If we unpublish one CPU, then call the other unpublish again, it may. If the agent doesn't know the result, yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah. So if we have resources with no unique identifier, we can't guarantee idempotency.
Yeah.
Okay. If you have a commit, but I can't convince I think I should you just can't.
Yeah, that's a tough thing to name. It's a difficult action to name.
I see. You have a local branch.
I mean, one way you could think of doing it maybe is to call it unpublish and use the field name within the event to kind of inform about exactly what's going on.
Except for,
that what are some good names? Yeah, except for you could have call it current published set equals something or. And that would make it a little more clear that okay, everything except the set is going to be unpublished.
That actually makes sense.
I mean, the name unpublished is nice. It just the fact that it's symmetric with the other one.
Yeah, but I'm thinking because the resource provider API is also experimental, so we can still rename it, and the fact that currently the only supported resource provider is an actor in same process, so we don't need to worry about backward compatibility. So we still have the freedom to rename it, but the idea suggested is also fine. It also sounds good.
Within your own
I mean, if you wanted a different name for the call,
but what you would do is you would
maybe something like assert published resources, or set published resources. So you give it a list of things that should be published, and everything else is not published. It's like unpublished.
But the one call is like I don't care what else are published. One call is setting the lower bound, and the other call is setting the upper bound, right? The original publisher is setting the lower bound. These should be published. The other I don't care.
Yeah, yeah.
New call I'm going to introduce is creating upper bound.
Yeah, I mean, in a way.
But so within this resource,
Well,
I don't care.
Publish doesn't set a lower bound though, right? Because there could be many other. Oh, low. Well, no, I see what you mean. Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah.
Git remote. Add.
Yeah, I kind of like the idea of using the field name in the end.
Another thing at the end.
Because the intention
of that is published and unpublished. It's just
yeah, right. Like what you're trying to accomplish is unpublishing stuff.
I see.
But you have good reasons for doing it in a slightly complicated way.
That actually makes sense.
Maybe.
You have to be committed to having.
Yeah, I'll think about that one for a minute.
Right.
Thank you.
Yeah, for sure.
You may not have some information. Would I get those automatically?
Yeah, then I don't need to worry about naming the call.
This is your.
Okay. Right, so,
Are you guys going anywhere for the long weekend?
So.
No, I have a wedding that I kind of don't yeah, it's like a
Is it nearby?
yeah, it's at Cal Shakes, the California Shakespeare Theater.
Oh,
It's like
I'm not
kind of
familiar.
near Orinda or something like that.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. It should be a good wedding, actually. I shouldn't be so grumpy about it, but
Get a good party out of it.
yeah, it's like a high school friend who then like went to the same college as me, and we were friends in college, and we were roommates for a while. And
Wow, go way back.
he was a big mess, and he bought this cat that like hated me like a lot.
Oh no.
And so every time I'd walk into the house, it would like hiss like a lot, and then I moved out.
Because I didn't want an angry animal.
I was scared. It was a scary cat. I don't know. So, yeah, but then he like accidentally had a daughter. The whole thing was like crazy. So,
Time to move on.
yeah, now he's getting married. So, yeah, good for him.
Congratulations.
Yeah, Jeff like kind of doesn't get on. You know,
Should be fun.
should be great. I don't think he's gonna go.
He's
That's-
probably riding his bike somewhere or something.
Yeah, that's what I hope.
message being available at the time.
Does anybody know anything about HTML formatting?
What kind of formatting?
HTML,
Like
website format. I'm trying to figure out how I'm supposed to indent stuff. It doesn't actually matter for how it renders, I think, but there's a
but you're writing raw HTML, you're not writing the markdown file.
for some reason community
So you get the two.
the community file is in HTML.
Oh,
Yeah.
let me take a look.
Okay.
And it's called community.html.md, which is like weird and seems messed up.
Is it in docs or in sites?
It's in the site.
Oh,
Yeah.
Labeled that for more personal.
oh, HTML.md.
Yeah, it's weird.
Well, it's I think it's what is, I forgot the name. Well, what is the term I should use? Embedded
Yeah,
HTML
yeah.
inside MD file.
Oh, so I could theoretically write
outside
Markdown here.
outside those texts. If you only outside those texts.
No, that's not gonna work.
Yeah, but for now, the only thing outside the text is the header.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Which section, or you're thinking about indenting them?
Yeah, I'll just show. I'm not thinking about, I don't want to indent the actual text that renders on the page, but there's like a way you're supposed to indent HTML, I think, to like make it look fancy. And I don't know, like, you're supposed to indent every section is supposed to get more indented than the last section.
Let me try to see if I can look at the result of that page.
Here, I'll show you. So, and it doesn't make a difference for the results. So here's my new section that I'm adding, working groups, blah, 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 blah. And then here it is, getting rendered on my local build, and it looks okay, but then like the code is supposed to be formatted a certain way so that people can read it easily. And I don't really know what the rules are for that.
Oh, you're talking about the coding style?
Yeah.
Then, well, I don't know.
Okay. Well, if you guys...
I feel like it's probably just indent by 2, right?
I guess. I mean, if you guys don't have opinions about it, then I'm just going to do it the way that I think looks good and call it a day, but...
Sure.
Okay, great.
But I think most of them are just indented by 2, right? Every time you introduce a section, just indent by 2.
Oh, yeah, they're not doing it the way that I'm doing it.
Yeah, and every time you end the section, put it back.
Yeah,
I think that's it.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're talking about the JSON formatting?
No, HTML formatting.
Oh, gotcha.
So yeah, I was confused because I thought you were talking about the rendered.
No, the rendered.
You're talking about the source formatting.
Yeah, we have very strong opinions about C++ formatting. I don't think we care too much about the HTML formatting.
In that case, we just I don't need to worry about it.
Oh, I got my demon. I'm sorry, I don't like pizza.
More for me.
You vegetarian?
What's up?
Are you vegetarian?
No.
Did you find the meat one in there?
Oh, is it one of the ones on the right?
No, it's the top one on the right.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, I was vegetarian for a couple of years and then stopped. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I did it for a year and I just couldn't do it anymore. I was in high school and my dad is like very much a meat and potatoes kind of guy. And so he was and did all the cooking because my mom was a flight attendant, so she was never around.
Oh, wow.
And so he was really confused by vegetarianism and just replaced all of like meat with portobello mushrooms and just treated it exactly the same as meat. And it was awesome. It was really delicious, but it has no protein at all. So I did it for like a year. And I was like on the swim team, working out for like 3 hours a day for a year. Then one day he was serving hamburgers for dinner, and he like put hamburgers down in front of everybody else and like a portobello mushroom in front of me. And I just was like, Dad, you don't want a hamburger. I can't do this anymore. And that was the end. That was it. I just broke down. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like you're working out a lot, especially you need enough protein.
Yeah, you can't just stop eating protein. It turns out it doesn't work. Like
I don't think you need to eat meat necessarily, but you gotta.
You really have to try and substitute it with something. Turns out, I don't know. I mean, it seems like mushrooms ought to have protein in them. Like they're
like a meaty thing.
Yeah, like
seemingly.
the texture is very like similar, but.
I should say I don't dislike pizza. I just.
You don't have to walk it back. You can.
I've been fuming ever since you left.
I just feel I want something else today.
What'd you get?
Well, just some vegetarian food. I'm having a healthy style today. Except for this.
taken up the time out. Tomorrow, we're closed at 5 to make sense.
There's a link to it.
It's in your SSH config. Cool. Oh, that's not good. Oh, I just so things. PMV.
Response.
Oh. So it's quite a long. That's
The ideas.
Do you have a problem?
Maybe.
What happened?
Yeah.
I think I'm finding missing things that shouldn't be missing.
If that's the case, I think it makes sense.
Oh.
So they call it personal access token instead of one time. So that's, I didn't see that in the page, but that's, so you go there and generate. It's private security.
Yeah.
Settings, developers. You already got one, you're just not going to be able to use this one because yeah. I mean, you're probably just going to use repo, but I don't know.
repeated operation.
Did we ever get Andy back?
Andy?
Andy!
No.
Bummer.
I guess the traffic in Seattle is getting worse.
What do you run that screen for? Already sure.
Probably like the housing.
Yeah.
I don't like HTML.
Oh, we have pizza here.
Oh,
Yes, please eat so much pizza.
I checked all those commands, it's working.
Awesome.
Do you want me to split that up in 1 or 2 commits? So one commit is changing the structure, the other is adding those two, or don't you mind that it's in one?
I think one's fine.
Okay, just as it's 2 separate things,
Yeah.
I'm offering to split that.
Thank you. Appreciate it. I will leave it up to your discretion.
Let me say if I would be really, really motivated, I would split it in 2. Considering my current workload, I might leave it at 1.
Cool. That's fair.
Is that an okay answer?
Yeah, that's fair.
What other stuff you detecting?
We had some missing API documentation, so I've been adding that.
You probably
That's it.
it'll just show up somewhere in the someone will show.
But yeah, it's actually several API calls that are quite old. We haven't documented those.
Yeah, cool. I guess I can add anybody other user.
Do we have like this commit checklist? Should we have there? If you're adding an API call, that means people will follow the example of.
Enough to justify the time.
The trick is now you have to come to the next one and take advantage of all the stuff you learned.
Yes, I'll come. When is the next one?
Next quarter sometime, hopefully.
No, I guess not.
So that.
Yeah, we probably
password
should
that I
add it
generated,
there,
should I copy that somewhere? Would I need that again?
Yeah, we're gonna see it again, so.
Yep, that's a good idea.
Yeah, do you think people will miss it now once we have everything changed? Is that a mistake which will happen or not?
What do you mean, everything changed?
And now, once we have everything templated,
Everything
do we,
templated?
now what, once we have the documentation turned over, that there are examples for everything? Is that enough documentation, or do we explicitly have to call out what you have to do?
Call out, I'm sorry, I don't understand.
Use SSH.
It is committing checklist. Do you feel we still need to add something saying
With